Hi, FB family. Good morning. This is Jefferson. I'm learning to get online more often. As with anything, this is just becoming pretty much second nature. And I will be continuing on my topic, how to practically walk in love, part 3. Walking in love is very, very interesting. You can walk in love and be completely immersed in the lifestyle of walking in love and discover the freedom that comes with walking in love. I'm still in Ukraine. The freedom that comes with walking in love. Walking in love is very, very, very key to our Christian walk. Very, very key. So we're just gonna wait for the other guys to come on. And we're gonna shoot off today talking about love. Today we're gonna be looking at 1 Corinthians 13. And we're gonna examine the implications of not walking in love. We're gonna look at what truly it is to walk in love, practically walk in love. Walking in love is acting out the nature of God. Acting out the nature of God. We have a lot of emphasis laid on walking by faith. But we forget that you can't even walk by faith, but if you don't have your love walk in place. Or let's say better, I would rather say walking in faith would be useless if you don't have walking in love in place. You have to learn how to walk in love so that it'll give validation to your walk of faith. This is how you get a validation to your walk of faith, when you walk in love. So 1 Corinthians 13 verse 1, if I speak in tongues of men and of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. So let's have a conversation this morning. Let's have a conversation. I gain nothing if I walk in all of this and I do not walk in love. I completely gain nothing. I practically gain nothing. I don't have anything. The only way that you can justify walking in love is walking in faith is to have a love walk. We've read from verse 1 to 3, and you can already see how important walking in love is. When even your giving is nothing without love. So let's look at some of the attributes of love. Love is patient. Love is patient. These are the characteristics of love. Love is patient. These are the attributes you would see to know if love is present. Love is patient. Some of us can't even identify love if it beat us in the armpit. I don't know what that means, but I heard it from somewhere. So I personally don't know what it is, but I think it's funny that if love beats some of us in the armpits, we are going to, we're not going to know what love is, you know. Yeah. So, love is patient. 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 Love has a quality of patience to it. Love is patient. Love is patient. Some of you probably I'm getting on your nerve because I'm saying it multiple times, but love is patient. Okay? Love is very patient when it's present. Have you seen a father and a child, and the child is just playing and crawling over his dad or mom, and he's just patient? And you notice that if you're not the parent, you're gonna find it a little bit tough coping with a little kid running around you. But because of love, it brings a completely new view to that interaction. This is also how you know when love is present, because you have to look for patience in there. There's no patience, then you need to question it again if it is truly love. And also, when you want to walk in love with other people, you need to ask yourself, am I patient with this person? Or am I just railroading them? Am I just trying to have my way and I'm not patient with them? If you find yourself not being patient with the one you love, with the people you love, then you need to start cultivating that characteristics in yourself. You know. All right, Lisa. Glad to know you guys are on board, and we can just have a conversation. So love is patient, you know. Hope you guys, you and Vivian, are safe, you know, while you're driving home. All right, drive safely. So love is patient. Love is patient. Love is patient. This is an attribute you need to cultivate in yourself. The attribute of patience. You have to practically make a conscious effort to be patient with people. You have to practically make a conscious effort to be patient with people. You have to practically make a conscious effort to be patient with people. You need to bring in your key of patience. The next one is love is kind. I was talking to someone the other day and she was telling me, I'm not a very kind person. I'm not a kind person. I'm not a kind person. And she said it over and over again. I'm not sure if she was kidding, but I've heard that several times when people say, I'm not very kind. And truly, you would notice that they're not kind. Maybe in their interactions. However, if you discover you're not a kind person, you can cultivate kindness. You are the sum total of the attributes that you cultivate. No attribute is just gonna voila come upon you just like that. You have to make a conscious effort to give yourself over to certain characteristics, to certain qualities. And because of the nature of love, because of the quality of the nature of love, sometimes people think love is weak, but love is not weak. Love is not weak. If you look at all the qualities of love, for instance, patience, and then you look at, your life in retrospect, you can discover that there are certain things in life that you think you ought to have been patient with. There are certain decisions in life you think you weren't patient. There are certain relationships that went sour because you weren't patient. But if you have learned to practically cultivate the characteristics of patience as an attribute of your love, do you do things hastily and then you look back and say, oh, I wish I was patient. I wish I had slowed down a little bit. I wish I had exercised restraint. And you look at the things you've lost because you quickly acted. You weren't patient. Only to look back and discover that I could have been patient. But your impatience is a testament to the fact that love is not present. Love is not present. And we can see that from your impatience. Kindness. Then it does not envy. Do you have envy welling up in you? It's time to take advantage of the knowledge you have this morning and begin to work on yourself. You need to work on yourself. You need to do a work on yourself. A lot of us just think that we are just gonna automatically have certain characteristics or certain qualities just for the heck of it. It doesn't happen that way. You have to put in the effort to work on yourself. How would you like to see these characteristics in your spouse? How would you like to see these characteristics in your wife? How would you like to see these characteristics in your husband? How would you like to see these characteristics in your siblings? How would you like to see these characteristics in your neighbor? If you would love someone who is kind, if you would love somebody who is patient, if you would love somebody who is, who does not envy, then be that person to the world. Be that fragrance of love to the world. Be that fragrance of love to the world. Have patience. Cultivate the attitude of patience. Cultivate the attitude of kindness. Cultivate the attitude of not falling into envy. Guard your heart against envy. It's going to be tough. Look, let me tell you, your flesh wants to go in the other direction. I can tell you, don't be passive when you're working on yourself to cultivate all these attributes. Don't be passive. Don't take it lightly. Think of yourself in a wrestling match, fighting for your life. See, a person who walks in love is irresistible. Is irresistible to God, is irresistible to the devil, is irresistible to man. Look, you just all around irresistible. People are drawn to you when you walk in love. Don't you understand that that person who walks in love is that co-worker you want to walk with? That co-worker you are complaining about should be yourself. put yourself in that category of fixing yourself and telling yourself that I am the best coworker anybody can find by putting these good things in yourself that will make you pleasant enough, that will make you pleasant enough that if you have a coworker, your coworker will be glad that you're working with them because you're patient, you're kind, and you do not envy. It does not boast. Hi, Carrie. Love does not boast. Arrogance is not part of love. When you see an arrogance present, that's the time to flush it. So many of us, we've lost good things in life because we're arrogant. And we just boast, and we're so proud. Love is not proud. It is not proud. Don't be proud to say I'm sorry. Don't be proud. Work on yourself. This is how this is what I do all day. I make a list of all these attributes of love. As I go in the day, I remind myself that I am kind. I remind myself that I am patient. I remind myself that I do not envy. I remind myself that I do not boast. I remind myself that I'm not proud. Love does not dishonor others. Oh my goodness. What honor would do for you when you honor people? When you acknowledge people, when you honor people. You need to honor people. You don't dishonor other people. That's arrogance. It's not self-seeking. Love is not self-seeking. Do you know how difficult it is not to be self-seeking? Do you know how difficult it is to cultivate that? But the fruits of it is priceless. Your life will be balanced when you're not self-seeking. Just imagine a non-self-seeking, patient, kind person. This is just a few characteristics. This person is, just imagine if someone is describing you and says, oh, she is non-self-seeking. She's completely selfless. She's so patient and kind. I mean, don't you want to meet that person? You have to do everything you can to work on yourself. This is what makes your life glorious. It gives you balance. It is not easily provoked. Do you find yourself easily provoked? Or what are those things that trip you and you just fall and begin to just, misbehave because you lost it, you lost your cool? You are not easily provoked. Not because you can be provoked. It's just because you don't want to give yourself to being provoked. You don't want to yield to being provoked. Apostle Obi, good morning, sir. Hi, Sylvia. Love is not easily provoked. It's not easily angered. How beautiful it is to meet someone who is not easily angered. Do you know how beautiful it is when people come up to you and discover that you're in control of your emotions? You're in control of that anger emotions. You've put it in check. Do you know what it is? How beautiful it is when your life is so balanced that people know that you're not the type that is easily provoked. How different will you be? And the Bible says God is love. Do you now understand that God is not easily provoked? He's telling you the characteristics of himself that you already have when you received him. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love doesn't keep record of wrongs. Love doesn't go about saying, oh, you hurt me last week. You hurt me 10 years ago. You hurt me 20 years ago. I still remember it vividly like yesterday. I'm going to hold on to it. No, 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 no. No, no. Love doesn't keep record of wrongs. Because of the selfless nature of love, love does not delight in evil. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. Love does not delight in evil. When you hear something bad happen to somebody, are you immediately excited? Are you happy at other people's predicaments? I'm not saying that you're not going to feel that feeling sometimes. Listen, let's tell ourselves the truth. There are sometimes you hear something happen to somebody secretly, you're like, good for them. Just because you haven't said it doesn't mean you have not secretly felt, oh, so good for them. They did this to me a couple of times, even if they didn't. And they don't even have to do anything for you to feel that emotion. Let's be truthful and honest to ourselves. But do you know what I do whenever I feel such a thing? I immediately go to work. I go against that. I immediately go after that emotion and I begin to work on myself and I begin to disarm my flesh and I begin to work on myself to get that emotion out of the way, to get my baby emotion in that area and move it into a mature emotion of empathy. Look, you have to take control of your life. This is how you take control of your emotions. You heard somebody was not promoted. Secretly, you're happy. And some of these things happen, without even your own control. They just happen to you that you felt like, wait, you're just happy. And you're like, wait a minute. Why am I happy that this person, why am I happy that this person is not promoted, is not this or that? You know what I mean? So when that happens to you, go immediately after that. I find myself sometimes, some people do things to me and I just lose it. I lose it and I just go, And then what I do when that happens to me is I don't let it last a couple seconds. And you and I would agree that some people make us lose it. We just lose it immediately. But the ability to cut short the amount of time it takes for you to stay in that state is the measurement of your level of growth as an individual. Don't stay in perpetual anger. Don't stay in perpetual state of, where you're just red and just unapproachable. Don't do that. The minute that happens to you, get a hold of yourself. Life is going to test you. And I was telling you, for the past 2 days, that those who are going to test you the most are those you love. Because when people hurt you, the hurt from people you love is worse than the hurt from somebody who is not close to you. But you must learn to forgive those you love because they deserve your forgiveness. Think about it. God forgave you. So why can't you forgive others? So love is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not keep record of wrongs. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not keep record of wrongs. It does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects. Love is always in a protective mode. Love is always in a protective mode. Always trusts. Love trusts. Always hopes. Always perseveres. Love perseveres. Love trusts. Love protects. It rejoices in the truth. Love never fails. Love never fails. Love never fails. Love never fails. Love is not puffed up. It doesn't behave itself unseemly. It seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked. Do you know how difficult it is to seek not your own? Let's even take that attribute. Do you know how tough it is to not seek out your own? When you begin to practice this, you're going to be shocked. You're going to be so shocked. You know what it is to not seek out your own, to not look out, for your own. Hallelujah. Love, it's difficult. And, it's difficult not to seek out your own. Because our society is the society of me, myself, and I. That's why our world is the way it is. Our world is the way it is because our society is a society of me. Me, 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 me. It's all about me, myself, and then I. But we need to begin to raise people that are selfless. People, see, there is nothing absolutely that can beat a behavior that seeks to serve other people. A behavior, a lifestyle, a character that seeks to serve other people. There's nothing that beats that. A behavior that seeks to serve other people. You're looking out for other people, the best in other people. You are actually detaching from yourself and connecting with other people's pains. Some of us are so self-absorbed. And that's why we can't create solutions in this world. This is the number one problem, selfishness. We cannot think of solutions for humanity because we are self-absorbed. Between your wife, your children, and you, every other person you don't care for. It ought not to be that way. We need to learn to put people before us. Sometimes it's not all about you. Sometimes it's not all about you. So when you look at all these attributes and so what I do is, I write out all these characteristics on a piece of paper. And as I go about my daily work, I remind myself who I am. And I look towards bringing the nature, because this is the nature of God, the nature of love. God is love. So I want people to see this in me. I want to serve people with this quality. I want people to enjoy me. And when I deal with people, when I relate with people, this is off of the list upon which I judge my relationship with other people. Am I self-centered in my conversation? Is my conversation so selfish? I analyze it. I filter it in my head before it comes out. And not even my conversation, my intentions, my delivery. What do I seek to gain in this action? Will I be satisfied? Will I get the benefit and the other person not get a benefit off of my behavior? This is what I ask myself. If I do this thing in a certain way, will it benefit the other person? So I write up all this list. Am I patient? Am I kind? Do I have envy? Am I boastful and prideful? Am I puffed up? Do I behave myself unseemly? Do I seek out my own thing only? Am I easily provoked? Do I think evil of other people? Do I rejoice when other people are hurt? Am I happy? Am I secretly happy? Am I a lover of truth? Do I bear all things? Do I believe all things? Do I hope in all things? Do I endure all things? Now look at this, verse 8. You know what verse 8 says? Charity never faileth. In other words, love never fails. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fall, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. Do you know what it's trying to say? Love is on your maturity continuum. Love is on your maturity continuum. Let me take it again. Very important. This is why we have so many babies in this world. Love is on the scale of the maturity continuum. Verse 11, when I was a child, I spake as a child. So remember when I was talking about your delivery and confessions, your intentions, and the things you say, if you are not walking in love, is a sign of childishness. When I was a child, I understood as a child. I processed my thought as a child. And I understood as a child. But when I became a man, now watch what happened. I put away. Childish things will not just leave you. You have to put it away. Believe me, you have to make the conscious effort to put away childish things, childish behavior. Me. What about me? Me. And then me some more. We have a lot of immature people in this world. So self-centered. You make a decision only to favor yourself and not to favor other people. You make a decision that is not in line with the truth. You're not a lover of truth. You make policies. You're in government. You make policies, and your policies only serve yourself. And it's not policies that is based off of the truth. You make laws. You're a legislator, and you're making laws that do not benefit people because you're making childish policies. When you want to make a policy, this is how you know a mature government. Mature government makes policies that are favorable to everybody. And those policies may not be favorable to everybody, but those policies are grounded in the truth, the universality of the truth. So when you're in government, you make policies that will be able to serve long after you're gone. This is how you write your legacy. But this legacy is built on the legacy of love. When I became a man, I put away childish things. You know that little toy you used to play with? And then you go to a point you're like, no, mommy, I don't want to play with this toy anymore. You put it away. Oh dear. You have the nature of God in you. This is the nature of God. Where you connect with the pains of other people. You connect, you develop your gift of empathy. You develop your gift of empathy. You can easily connect to people's pain. You seek to serve people. You seek to be a blessing to people. You seek to make someone's life better. You're looking for an opportunity to constantly and consistently serve others. Once you begin to do this, then you begin to put yourself on a pedestal of success. You seek to serve others. You seek to serve other people. You put away childish things. When you're in government, the truth that comes from you is based on the platform. The policies that comes out of you is based on a platform of truth. Because you love the truth. Do you understand? Love, in verse 6, 1 Corinthians 13, verse 6, it rejoiceth not in iniquity, but it rejoices in truth. You are a lover of truth. The ability to love the truth also is on your maturity continuum as you continue to mature in love. As you continue to mature as a person. The full development of you as a human being is when you completely, fully develop into a loving being. This is how you grade growth. You might be 40, you might be 50, you might be 60, but you are not fully developed because your love is not completely developed, perfected. This is how you mature yourself. You can be 40, you can be 20, and be more mature than a 60-year-old because you have all these attributes. You're very patient. You don't just fly off the handle. You're not easily angered. You don't just, little things don't just trip you. And now you lose your cool, you're fighting on the street. What a shame. You're in control. You're in control. Do you know that a person with all these attributes is in control of their lives? They're in control of their emotions. They're in control of their emotions. They're in control of your life. You're in control of your thought process. You don't allow your thoughts to rejoice at somebody else's predicament. You don't take advantage of people and cause them so much pain just because you want a temporary gain. You don't think of other people before you act. You think only of yourself and what you get alone. And you're not thinking of what other people are going to get in this. And how it would make them feel. And what impact you would have on them if you conducted yourself in this way. Or you behaved in a certain way. How would it leave other people? What would it leave other people doing? You need to learn to conduct yourself in a way that you put people's in consideration before you take action. Sometimes you switched roles in your mind, in your brain, in your emotions. You need to switch places with people that you're dealing with and say, if I'm the one in their shoes, how would I take this? If I'm the one in their shoes, how would I want to be treated? If I'm the one in their shoes, how would I want to be welcomed? It's when you begin to do this that you learn to be considerate. You learn to be empathic. Someone is coming to visit you and is traveling 8 hours to get to you. Before they get to you, ask yourself, if I traveled for 8 hours, how would I feel by the time I get there? Number one, I'll be exhausted. I want somebody to just give me a hot water so I can put my feet in the hot water. Then go get that hot water for your friend that's traveling 6 hours to your place. You see? This is how to practically walk in love. Just switch. Come out of yourself and become that person. And ask yourself, how would I want to be pleased? What would I look forward to? I'll probably just want hot water, put my feet in warm water and just relax and cool my nerves. And, a cup of cold water or something, I probably want somebody to, help me with my bags. I probably want a few minutes to just cool off, So begin to create those provisions for people, things you would want people to do for you. That is the first level. Sometimes you need to go as fast as further as figuring out how they liked to be pleased, how they like to be, because some people might not care about putting their feet in warm water. But I'm just saying that is a starting point, because you might do that and they not like it, but that's fine. But if you figured out what they love when they travel, then go do that. Some people want you to call in and check on them. How is your trip? Have you gotten to where you're going? Is everything okay? Even if you send a text message. Put yourself in the shoes of the person you're trying to be a blessing to, and ask yourself, what would I want if I'm in their shoes from me? Will it be fair enough? You must come out of yourself. Everything doesn't revolve around you. Have you noticed that this is a characteristic of a child? Everything revolves around you. Everything revolves around you. Mommy, my toy. Mommy, my shoe. My toy. My. That's childish. And verse 11 says, when I became a man, I put away childish things. In other words, I made a conscious effort to put away childish things. I made a conscious effort to grow as a person. I made a conscious effort to mature as a person. I made a conscious effort to be better as a person. I made a conscious effort to improve on myself. I made a conscious effort to get better at what I do. I made a conscious effort to improve on my nature. I made a conscious effort to continually enhance the way people relate with me, or how I relate with people. I made a conscious effort to be a better person. Not so many people make conscious effort to work on themselves. Not so many people make that conscious effort to work on themselves. See, when you begin to live your life caring for people, you automatically become a leader. Yes. When there's a vote, who's going to lead? You notice that people will just come and say, oh, let her lead. Because they know you're going to take care of them. They know you're going to be fair. They know you're balanced. They know you don't fly off the handle. They know you don't just jump into conclusions. They know you're very patient. People know. They notice. People notice. Sometimes you don't even have to say a word. Sometimes what you do speaks louder than what you say. And not just sometimes. That's how it always is. So seek to be a blessing to your world. Stop being so impatient, jumping into conclusions, judging people without even having a chance to hear them out. We all want to be heard out. When you get into an argument, do you just overcome that argument and it's your voice they hear? Do you give the other person opportunity to be heard? Do you actually calm down and try to consider what they say and process it? Do you give them an opportunity, a benefit of a doubt to be heard? Do you at least stop to think that they could be right? Let me allow them to speak. Let me allow them to give me a feedback, an input, or whatever. Do you ever think of that? Have you ever gotten yourself into that state of mind where you are meant to serve humanity? You've grown out of your shell, out of yourself, out of your me life and selfish life, into an evolved life where your life is now meant to serve your community, to serve your family, to serve people around you, to become a pillar of support, of emotions for so many. People begin to run towards you. People begin to ask you questions. People begin to relate with you. People just begin to, always look for your input in things when they arise, because you will give them an input that is unbiased. Remember, you don't think of yourself only, so your opinions will be unbiased opinion, not selfish opinion. People can count on your words. People can take your words to the bank. If somebody gave me their word, would I want them to falter and just dwindle and fail? No. If I don't want that, then I want to be that to the other person. And you know what? You begin to attract people who are just like you. People who come around you, will be people who covet that lifestyle that you're living. People who want to be like you. People who enjoy that gifts, those characteristics. So what does it take to get you in that mind frame? Do everything you can to get yourself in that mind frame whereby you immediately put yourself in a position to serve other people. You're not just out for yourself. Can people actually say they've seen Jesus when they met you? Humility. You're not puffed up. Humility. You acknowledge people. Oh, one of the greatest gifts, one of the greatest character traits is humility. Is humility. God resisted the proud. God resists the proud, and he gives grace to the humble. You have to humble yourself before God. Humble yourself. Humility is, is something the devil cannot imitate. I'm telling you, these things break his back. He doesn't know how to be humble. He can't be humble even if he tried. You know why? It's not his nature. Oh dear. Because his nature is arrogance and pride. Look, let me tell you. Pride is the nature of Satan. He can't mimic humility. He can't. You cannot mimic humility if you're the devil. And that's why God instructs you to be humble. Don't be puffed up. Do you know how to take people? You can actually literally take a person. What I mean take a person is you can just wrap them around, just wrap them in your world. Serve them. When you serve people, you're taking them. They are yours. Everybody you serve is yours. Serve people. He that is going to be the head among you have to be your servant. Just serve people on purpose. That's how you lead people. Serve them. The nature of God is to serve. Serve people. Just serve people. Serve them. Be of service to people. The devil cannot imitate honor. He cannot honor people. He's a dishonorable person. Don't you understand? The devil can't keep his words. He doesn't keep his word. He's never kept his word. He doesn't know what it is to keep his word. That's why when the devil gives you something with his left hand, it takes it with the right hand. Because he doesn't know how to do it. The only person who can do that is God. And that nature of God is in you. You can give and give and give. The devil gives you with the right hand. He takes it with the left hand. The devil can't honor. He doesn't have honor in him. He can't mimic it. He can't pretend to be honorable. He's not an honorable man. He's an honorable being. Because that a man is a spirit being. So he's not honorable. Honor is something that the nature of Satan cannot try to imitate. Do you know Honor is a virtue where you honor people, where you think about people. Sometimes you call people up and say, "How are you doing? Have you fixed this? Have you fixed that?" Sometimes it feels good when somebody calls you and says, "How is everything? Have you finished that program? Have you finished this? Or have you? Were you able to drop that stuff off?" People just checking on you. Look, nobody checks in on anybody these days. Because everybody's so selfish. And actually genuinely take interest in them completing their assignments or completing that thing they said they want to do. Do you just call them up and say, "How you doing? What about this? Did you fix this? Did you fix that? Were you able to pay for that, tuition the last time we spoke?" Just call them up. Sometimes I do this. Some of my friends, they just tear up when I call them. And I'm like, "How are you? Have you started working? What are you doing now? Okay, hold on. Send me that your email again. Let me shoot you this position I saw. I was in my office and I saw an open position and I thought about you. Let me email this position to you. Do you know how beautiful it is? Do you know how beautiful it is? We haven't spoken in 3 weeks and you just call me out of the blues and you're sending me an open position because I have been out of a job and you're trying to shoot me something that I can. Do you know how beautiful it is? Why don't you be that to other people? Think for people. Come out of yourself. People are so engrossed in themselves. Selfishness. That's not the nature of love. That's not your nature. You need to cultivate the nature of love inside of you. Make a conscious effort to work on yourself and be of service to people. "Oh, those people are going to take advantage of me." Oh, yeah, they're going to take advantage of you. What do you think it was going to be before? You told God to use you. Now he's using you. Now you're afraid. Be of service to somebody. I called, one of my friends. He hasn't been working for a while. I called him up the other day. This happened, I think, earlier this year. Yeah, early this year? Was it last year? So I just called him up. I said, the last time we spoke, by the time we spoke, you hadn't been working for almost a year. Have you gotten something? He said, no. I said, an open position just opened in my office. Do you want to apply? I just sent you an email. Oh, I still remember your email from my previous conversation. I just typed it in and it pulled up your profile. I've sent you that open position. Try to apply. He just said to me, he said, "I don't know what it is about you, but for just this alone, my respect for you have just gone up." I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yes, but it's nothing." He said, "This is you. This is how you do. You just call people up and you check on people. You want to know how I'm doing." He's a grown man, but it feels good when people check in on you, know how you're doing, and that's it. All right, okay. Once again, this is how to practically walk in love, part 3. How to practically walk in love. All right, leave your comments. Time is up. I was able to talk for about an hour, and I don't want to bore you to oblivion with my love talk, because I know that it's not easy to walk in love. Talk is cheap, but when it's time to walk in love, that's when people just take a hike. Like, I can't deal with this. I'm so absorbed in myself. I want to fix myself. Me. That's just our world, But if you continue to practice and practice, it becomes your nature. You just become a shining light. God has called us to be lights, to the salt of the earth and the light in the world. This is how you become the salt of the earth. You're not just a bag of salt that's sitting out there, not used, not savor. And if the Bible says the salt loses its savor, then it's useless. You spit it out. Walk in love. When you walk in love, you walk in God. You actually manifest God when you walk in love. You manifest God. You manifest God. All right, guys. I'm going to bring this to a wrap. Thank you for joining me this morning. At least I said I'm not in the driveway. You're almost driven for about an hour since we started. This is like almost an hour. Do you drive that long? Oh dear. I accompany you in your drive home. That's so sweet. The internet is just amazing. I'm able to be part of your drive. It's all good. It's all good. Just take time to reflect on what we shared this morning about love and practice. Practice, practice, practice. Stop talking. Start doing. Stop preaching. Start ministering. Give someone a cup of water today. Ask somebody how they feel. Stop someone in your track. Hold somebody's hands and say, how has your day been? Would you like a cup of water? You don't have to pay for it if you don't have the money, but just offering them a cup of water is something. Comment someone's hair. Tell them they look, good. Stop somebody randomly and just say, is everything okay? What can I do to help you? Be a blessing to your world. Let the fragrance of God begin to come out of you. Let that fragrance just ooze. Don't store it. Just ooze goodness, ooze sweetness, ooze love. Let it be like a liquid ocean just coming out of you. When you walk around the street, just ooze that love and just pass love around. Just ooze love. You are so attractive when you walk in love. Don't you understand? People want to be around you. People want to talk to you. People want to be your friend. Everybody's reaching out to you because you just switched into this state that they can't understand. And you're just oozing love. You're oozing care. You're oozing concern. You're oozing protection. You're oozing protection. Love protects. Don't you see? It's such a beautiful thing to just be in that state where you just someone is having a bad day. You don't know, if they've had a bad day, and just one word from you of encouragement can just be all they need for that day. Just imagine if this world, if all of us are all about other people's welfare, we would have a beautiful world. If all of us just serve each other. I wake up this morning and the first person I meet, I'm thinking of how to make his life better. You're in the hotel, you're about to go out for the day, you make the bed. So the lady who comes to make the bed have one less job to do. You just scatter the whole place, you make it all dirty because you're not the one fixing it. And then the poor lady who's going to, come fix your room, or the poor cleaner, is just like, make their day. Let them walk into your room and the room is already made. And they're like, out of 300 rooms, one less room to bother. It's not like they're not going to fix your room, but it makes their work easier. Be a blessing. You're going to check out of the hotel, leave some money on the bed. You went to eat, give a good tip. Look out for the person serving you breakfast. Yes, you're going to pay, but look at the waitress who's been waiting on you. Acknowledge them. Notice something deeper about them. Look at them very well. Don't be a blower. Notice people. Notice that she's probably, I always serve them cold water. Can you imagine? Just see. When the garbage people come to pick up trash, she just gives them cold water. Just imagine. And that's just from you. Just imagine how many garbages they collect a day. If 300 people out of maybe 3,000 garbages they collect blesses them with something unique, their job will be the most. They will wake up with excitement. They want to go do their job. When they get up, they're just gonna I want to go work so I can get a cold water from this person. I can get this from that person. Just infuse this earth with goodness. Be in touch with heaven and flow from there. Begin to transmit love to the earth. Let this earth be filled with love. Let your environment be an environment of love and happiness. Let people begin to laugh when they come around you. Create an atmosphere of love. Let your children laugh so hard all the time. Don't you understand? You know why? Because daddy's home. This atmosphere changes when you walk in. People are happy. People are excited. It doesn't cost you anything. You're not paying for it. You're just switching into a state of love. People are motivated. People want to work for you. If you're a boss, someone wants to work for you. They want to work for you. They want to work for you. They want to serve you. They want to make you happy because you're that boss that lightens their day. You delegate job. You come back. You say, how you doing your job? Do you need assistance? You'll be the best boss ever. You're no longer a boss. You're like a colleague. People want to work for you. People want to serve you. This is why people want to serve God, because God is good. This is why we serve God, because God is good. God is good. I serve him because God is good. You find people want to serve you. People want to do stuff for you because you've been doing stuff for them. People want to serve you because you're just so good to them. You're just so good to them. They want to do something for you. People want to fight for you. People want to stand for you. If anything happens against you, they will come after those people and say, no, you're not this person. Because you've been a blessing to them, and people don't want you to take away their blessing. You've just become an embodiment of blessing to them. And now that you're a blessing, they don't want their blessing to go. You are that blessing. When people wake up in the morning and they're going to work, and you are the boss, they're happy because their boss is such a great person. And they are there working and they're so happy because you are this boss that they want to work for. You embody Jesus. You embody Jesus. You're just showing up. God, the minute you show up, it's as if God showed up. If they're having a bad day in the office and you didn't come into office that day, the office will not be the same if you're not there. People want to do stuff for you. People want to hang around you. If you move people to another department, they'll start crying because they know they're going to have a nightmare over there. The other person is so selfish and you are so considerate. They want to work for you. If you leave that office, have you seen it? I saw on the internet this teacher was being transferred to another district. And the students were crying. The whole school broke down. The whole school was crying. The students wouldn't let go. They held him. Because the man was love on 2 feet. You see, those children wouldn't let him go. They just held on to him. He was crying and sobbing. And the children were crying because he was such a good teacher. He was out to make sure people understood what he taught. He cared about people. He cared for the fact that people could understand his teachings. He was concerned. He was one person that made a difference in their world because he walked in love. Make a difference. Spin this thing around. Get a hold of it and spin it around. Make a difference. Make a great difference. Make a great difference in your world. Make a great difference in your community. Make a difference where you live. Make a difference because you have love oozing and flowing out of you. Make a big difference. This world is already horrible as it is. If we can begin to walk in love, this will be heaven on earth. If you're a husband, just imagine if you're a husband and you're just oozing this. Your wife has no headache because she doesn't have to bother about you. If you're a wife and you're oozing love, just imagine how your husband is going to feel. Because he feels blessed and he counts himself lucky. Why? Because you took the time to work on yourself. You are considerate. You are kind. You're patient. You're not selfish. You're thoughtful. You're empathic. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, let's walk in love. It doesn't cost anything. Well, you're not paying for it. It's not $200 to walk in love per day. It's love. It's free. It's in you. It's in you. When you fight somebody who you are stronger than, how would you relate with them? Whew. Let's walk in love. Let's walk in love. It's a commandment. All right, Lisa, we finally got you to the finish line. We got you to the finish line. Woo! All right, share this video with your friends. Let the love spread. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.